Within the span of a single year, fires that ravaged the National Museum of Brazil and the Notre Dame Cathedral show us that cultural heritage will always be at risk. These incidents are a poignant reminder of the vulnerability of cultural heritage, even when protected by institutions dedicated to preserving the past. So in looking for additional methods to preserve and document our cultural heritage, two forms of reality capture technologies, photogrammetry and terrestrial laser scanning, make an appealing case for the use against the backdrop of these two devastating events. So let's focus on War Mineral Springs, which is in part the focus of my research. War Mineral Springs is a local Florida site that we have here in Southwest Florida. It's a 300-foot deep sinkhole that contains significant Paleo Native American archaeological remains dating back 11,000 years, which makes it one of the few sites in Florida that does so. But it's not just its archaeological significance that makes this site important, it's its architectural significance as well. It contains three buildings designed by Jack West, a member of the Sarasota School of Architecture, which is a historical architectural movement that we had here local in Florida. And all three of these buildings that he designed are on the National Register for Historic Places. So photogrammetry, in part what I use to document the artifact from War Mineral Springs, is an inexpensive form of reality capture where one takes a camera and moves around an object taking overlapping photos so a program can construct a 3D model, which is kind of seen in the lower center of the screen there. And in the upper left, those blue squares represents my position in real space when I move around an object to take those photos. It tends to be inaccurate when dealing with larger data sets, but it does have its best case use in smaller handheld artifacts. Terrestrial laser scanning, which is seen in the lower right, the scanner there, the Leica P40, is a $65,000 scanner, which makes this a more expensive version of the two reality capture methodologies that is used by architects today to scan buildings down to millimeter accuracy, and really does a good job documenting buildings, but struggles on those smaller handheld artifacts. So for my thesis, I'm using photogrammetry to document artifacts from War Mineral Springs and the terrestrial laser scanner to document the structures at War Mineral Springs. So why is this important? War Mineral Springs recently suffered from a Category 4 hurricane when the historical structures at War Mineral Springs have already suffered significant architectural damage from hurricanes in seasons past. And the buildings at War Mineral Springs are going to undergo impending renovations to the interior and exterior, which would alter the historical tapestry of the building. So the laser scanning portion of my research is twofold. One, to document the buildings permanently in 3D before any structural damage can continue to be sustained from climate change. And then two, to also preserve the original building before those impending renovations happen. But it's not just the climate change and the economic stressors that drive this thesis forward. It's also these 3D models will be curated in an online digital exhibit so that way people can engage with these models where they otherwise previously would not be able to. Thank you.